Hello, welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. And another idea came for something to base the show on. Just got back from Montreal, Canada. Interesting, very interesting place to look at. Pretty city. And what I'm going to talk about today is President for 31 days. That was William Henry Harrison, born February 9th, 1973. Died April 4th, 1841. He was the 9th President of the United States from March to April 1841. He died 31 days into his term. Shortest serving president ever. And first president to die in office. After his death, Vice President John Tyler took over. Born in Charles City, Virginia. Last president to be born before the Declaration of Independence. Member of the Harrison family of Virginia. He was the son of Benjamin Harrison V, the founding father, and the father of John Scott Harrison, the only son and father of two presidents of the United States. His grandfather, Benjamin Harrison, became the 23rd, his grandson, Benjamin Harrison, became the 23rd president of the United States. He was a major general during the War of 1812. Political career began in 1798 when he was appointed Secretary of the Northwest Territory. He returned to private life in Ohio until he was one of four Whig Party nominees in the 1836 U.S. presidential election. He lost to Democrat Martin Van Buren. 1840 election, the party nominated him again, with John Tyler as his running mate under the campaign slogan, Tippecanoe and Tyler too, and Harrison defeated Van Buren. Just 3 weeks after his inauguration, he fell ill and died days later. He took the oath of office on March 4th, 1841. On a cold and wet day, he braved the chilly weather and chose not to wear an overcoat or hat, rode on horseback to the grand ceremony, and then delivered the longest inaugural address in American history at 8,445 words. Took him nearly 2 hours to read. Although a friend and fellow Whig, Daniel Webster, had edited it. But from what I've read in other sources, the fact that he did that inauguration speech on a cold, wet day, didn't wear a hat and coat, and delivered the longest inaugural address in weather conditions like that, it took a toll on him, and he went downhill. Can you imagine doing that and then working really hard, what you have to do as a president, and I guess it was just too much for him. So his wife Anna was still in Ohio packing for a trip to Washington after learning of him dying. She never moved into the White House. Their daughter-in-law, Jane Irwin Harrison, widow of William Henry Harrison Jr., served as hostess of the White House in Anna's place while Harrison was president. Cause of death says to be enteric fever, typhoid, or paratyphoid fever. He was 68 years old at the time of his inauguration. Was the oldest person to assume the U.S. presidency at the time. A distinction he's held until 1981 when Ronald Reagan was inaugurated at age 69. His son, John Scott Harrison, represented Ohio in the House of Representatives between 1853 and 1857. His grandson, Benjamin Harrison of Indiana, served as the 23rd president from 1889 to 1893, after making William and Benjamin Harrison the only grandparent-grandchild pair of presidents. So, interesting story about William Henry Harrison, president for only 31 days. And like I've said before, I'm looking for more ideas on shows to do in the future. If it's feasible, something I can work with, I will base a show on it. And as always, like, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching.